Good evening to all. Sabege ವಂದನೆಗಳು. Salutations to the gathering. Basically, I am a science graduate. Speaking to the professionals in the commerce. Well, I gain my courage in speaking to you all, the professionals, by studying Kautilya's Arthashastra. It is the fulcrum which made this country stand even in the present day world, when all are looking at the recession, this problem, that, this, all these things. We have a beautiful GDP rate projected, and each time that GDP has achieved its projections. With that small introductory note, dignitaries on the dais, we have very senior persons here, old roots, new shoots. Fine, wonderful, no problem. What is actually caste mean in Sanskrit? It is called maulya, athwa mulyam. Beautifully, the Chanakya explains how the taxing system should work in a particular country. We have a Sanskrit Subhashita which says, Akashat patitam toyam yata gacchati sagaram sarvadeva namaskaraha keshavam pratigacchati. Sir, beautifully you have told, we don't know the Sanskrit, therefore you please explain to us in English, which is an alien language to this country. No problem. As you see, the raindrops come from the sky, falls onto the earth, and then ultimately becomes the river and then goes to the sea. That's how the system is. And that if you see, consider that sea as the Almighty, then every drop of the rainwater should reach the Almighty, is what the Subhashitam would say. This beautiful shloka could be related to what is called our entire taxing system and costing system. How it come? I'll explain one by one. Chanakya says, it is a continuous process. As the sun rays fall into the sea, the water gets evaporated, and when the water gets evaporated, it forms the clouds. Majority of the clouds get expanded by chemical reactions and fall on the very sea itself. So if it has to actually reach us, it requires a strong wind. That is what we now expect sometime in the 25th of May in Kerala. And if it is delayed, then we have series of debates on the TV when the monsoon is going to be, how it affects our costing, how it affects our GDP, how it affects the country, how it affects the agriculture, how it affects the common man. Many of the terms that they use, we don't understand. And the TV will be, the debates will be on, we'll be busy with the playing Candy Crush. Then the wife will come and say, I want to see a serial. You would say, I am very interested, very much interested, cost accountant, I am interested in the nation, I am viewing the debate. She would say, I have changed the channel half an hour back. Many times, this is the irony, but the Chanakya would say, those clouds will become the rain-carrying clouds, and then rain-carrying clouds scatter all over the country with the strong wind. Then it will become the rain, and each drop of it comes back to the river, and that river again reaches the sea, and it's a continuous process. So this way, the taxing should also be there. You have earned from this particular country using the resources. Many may say, I have not used any resources at all. Very birth yours in this country itself is a resource, sir. So you will have to be Jayamano bhavati trairunaha is the Vedavakya. as we take the birth in this world itself, we are indebted with the three debts. Pitru Runa, the one who has given the birth to you. Deva Runa, whoever who is having the belief in the God. The Deva Runa, and those who don't believe. You have a superpower. You have a Runa, a debt to that superpower. Then the Rishi Runa. These three Runas, these three debts, we incur as we take a birth in this particular world itself. Now I have added one more Runa for that, that is Rashtra Runa. So Rashtra Runa is what is required today more than anybody. Those who are stranded in Dubai for enjoying that Burj Khalifa, within half an hour, they were waiting for us to come back. They were waiting us to come to India, and they were making panic calls. Tennis player was there, film actress was there, ordinary tourist was there. Everyone was worried, including the drone Pratap. Look at the situation. When you are pushed to corner, you will understand what is the importance of this particular country. All other ships are stranded there. Two of it has already reached us. The casting was worked out for the available gas, and what is the panic it has created over a period of 1 week. And by arrival of 2 ships. Now supply chain, you are seeing here, ECP, you are seeing here. I don't get into those, jugglery of those words. I am just trying to find out how one would perceive from the situation, modern day situation. So I decided what should be a valedictory address. The two, when professionals have discussed whole day on the particular subject wise. So I decided, let me understand, we'll just forget for a moment what happened earlier. We can mark it, the post-independence, like we can mark in any field now, in any profession, post-COVID. Because COVID has already created a havoc in all casting, right? All casting, all planning, everything is gone to the wind. Now post-COVID, that is post-second wave, 2021 onwards, after lifting of the lockdown, how many of the people who could make it out? Casting, where do I get? Supply chain, manufacturing units, where do they come? Volatilization of the resources, how could they come back to the normalcy? Banking, debts, the rates that were required to make it, rescheduling across the country or the financial institutions, government help, subsidy, what not. Look at the whole scenario. And over and above, there was no tax holiday by income tax department. Who could pay tax then? It is the salary. Where did you get the salary? I didn't get any salary. They said you will get arrears. I will tax you then. Look at the whole situation. So therefore, each one of these things have taught us a great scenario. So post-COVID challenges were really, a real challenge for us to understand and then work it out. My dear friends, this is where the first principles will prevail. Do whatever you are today with your tab. Do whatever day you want to do with the AI tool. No, sorry. First principles will prevail. Ask Rahul Dravid. He says the fellow runs from the, say, 50 meters away, puts all his energy, throws me at 120 kilometers, 130 kilometers, 140 kilometers an hour, the ball, and if it crosses 2 inches away from my off stump, it's not my ball, I won't play. What a beautiful way of sticking on to the first principles, no? And those who did not, 3 slips were there meant for them to get caught. Look at the first principles. See, first principles is therefore, in any field, any profession, stick on to whatever the people have tread on a right path and found that this should be the one which you need to follow. Where do you get this? Wonderful. Where do you get this is A common convocation address were there in the Gurukula. Nowadays also we have international Gurukulas. I am not talking of that type of Gurukula. This country had produced such beautiful students who were inculcated, they are put into their blood what is the value. Not in terms of money, but in terms of the well-being of the society as a whole. We have what is called Shikshavali in Brihadaranyaka, where there was a common convocation address across the country. Whichever with the university you study, we had the common convocation address. What we taught them is Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara, all these things we said, they are called Anushasanas. You will have to do this. Now comes the what is question of the valedictory address. They are called now Shikshavali. What they say is Dharmat na pramaditavyam, Kushalat na pramaditavyam, Bhutyai na pramaditavyam, Swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam, Devarushi pitrukaryabhyam na pramaditavyam, so on and so forth. For us, two things are important. Whatever you do it, either you are a chartered accountant, cost accountant, whatever it is there, do not deceive the company which is paying you. Do not deceive the society. This colored, artificially made, dressed up balance sheets, dressed up costing is not going to stay for long. It has to lose its color within no time. So this is the first principle, what is called Dharmatna Pramaditavyam. Very big firms, I don't want to say, you can relate yourself, are in serious trouble in American economy today. All dressed up costing, all dressed up accounting. Today, they are in trouble. Moment they were required to, they are forced to stop printing the dollars. The first ever country which can get into pauper is the America. You can be rest assured. People are already facing the music there. I am not saying about the present day situation. It is the truth that is going to happen. So what prevails then? The first principle will prevail, Dharmat na pramaditavyam. Next is Kushalat na pramaditavyam, well-being. Bhutyai na pramaditavyam. I should have a luxury. I should get to the next level. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Best use of the resources. Are you not getting one by one the values of costing? Look at it. Resource is there. Best utilization of the resource. Bhutyai na pramaditavyam. Then comes what is the important thing. In the Gurukula, the coach has told, look, on a bouncy pitch, if he pitches at the middle of the pitch, then it is a bouncer, just duck down. Because you have to save your head for the remaining of the match. Very simple. This was what is called the series which has come in the TV as body line bowling. One can go to the YouTube and then see body line bowling. So now this was told. If it comes up to you, almost like an archer, first thing is not to score the run, keep your wicket up. This is what has been told. This is how the gentleman game was being played. Well, England taught us the cricket. We wanted to play as per their rules. All of you have seen Lagan. I need not have to say. Now what happens? We have understood the rules properly. We are efficient in playing. We wanted to win the test match in England itself. Graham Gooch was the captain. We were in a very good condition. Please mind this, how people can play around. This can happen in our present day casting also. Gooch tells Her Majesty and says, look, we are losing the match. Indians, they are playing well. Once upon a time, they were under our leg, they are under our feet. Now they have come up to this. Now somehow I want to save my skin. We will go for what is called artificial rain. Cloud seeding. They did it. these things will not stay for long. Cloud seeding was successful, half an hour rain, thereafterwards it is the sunshine again, we won the match. What does it teach? It would teach two things, Swadhyaya. Now look at the reverse swing the South Africans did. Many who are knowing about the cricket will understand. Those who may not know the cricket also, I'll try to explain. It's very easy to understand. One side of the ball, you take away the shine. When the ball is delivered, the rough portion will be facing the batsman, whereby he can't spot the ball. All of you have seen the ball being shined. Even in the women's cricket, we have now seen. It was not restricted to the men cricket alone. So they keep rubbing the ball. It's only to create the shine and also to swing. Now what happens is, the South African picked up this talent of making it the reverse swing. That is, the shiny portion is away from the batsman so that he cannot spot. We have lost two openers, Dravid and Tendulkar are there in the crease. In between overs, all good advertisements will be shown, Dove, etc. to us. No, it was there from Lux to the Dove now. None of us have got this Hema skin. That's a different issue. If Fair and Lovely were to be the successful one, which can really take your color off, it should have been clicked in the South Africa, Africa, all these places, not here. So no casting, nothing. So it's only the gimmick. They are playing on the emotions. Be it that way. In between 2 overs, batsmen will have a chance to exchange their views as to what happened. So Dravid and Tendulkar talk to each other. They say, second delivery in the previous over, I could not make it out. I could not see the ball. Somehow I escaped from getting out. Same was this, the replay from the other batsmen. So they decided, look, now the problem is, we don't know whether the ball will be shiny ball or the rough side when it comes to me. I cannot spot it out from 22 yards. So now what we can do is, the non-striker batsman can spot it out. Look at the way I am telling you, I have made it myself clear, the old routes, new shoots, right? So basics we have to stick on. At the same time, something new we should assimilate. So they said, non-striker batsman can make out how the ball is delivered and how it can probably come and meet the batsman. Now what happens? This was adjusted. So if it is the shiny side, on the non-striker end, I keep my bat on the left side of mine. And if it is a reverse swing, I keep the bat on the right side. Well, this casting everyone will do. 2 contingencies we have met, sir. Plan A, plan B, okay. Now the third contingency they thought, none of them were cost accounting, you see. They were only players. The third contingency they thought was, what if the non-striker batsman also can't spot which way the ball is going to come? Then he holds, I hold the bat in the center, do whatever you want. Now next over what happens? They see the result. This Swadhyaya has taken place that has been discussed with the 2 people. Discussed to the society. Discussed for the well-being of the society. Discussed for the betterment of the game. Discussed for the benefit of the team. All these things have happened. Don't you think that, these are all very close to our day-to-day problems that we face in our companies, wherever we are working it out? This was the situation. Next over, the result was on. See, first ball was the right ball, bat was kept on the left-hand side, it went to boundary. Second ball was also on the right ball, he kept the bat on the left side, it was a boundary. Third ball was a reverse swing ball, kept the bat on the right side. He could spot where the ball is going to come and gauge where it could come and hit the boundary again. Now who is perturbed? It is the bowler who is perturbed because his ugly game has come to an end. 3 hat-trick boundaries, bowler was taken off by the captain for the next time. Swadhyaya is what was told there. Stick on to the basics, arrive at a new problem. Problems are going to come. Nobody will be in a position to make it. So long as both of us are moving in our track, there should not be any accident at all. I have driven on the national highway when there were no median at all. At least 100 times I have driven to Tirupati when there was no median at all. I never had any accident. In every trip I used to see 1 or 2 spot deaths. What made? They were not sticking on to the basics. Whether I was not speedy driver then? Yes, I am a speedy driver. I also reached Tirupati in record time. Then how could you, sir? I knew where to speed up and where to cut down. So this is what is required in costing as well, in accounting as well. Where to pick up, when to pick up, whether the circumstances are all right, whether things are congenial to me, whether the policy is going to affect me, what happens if I don't do this, what happens in a war situation, what happens in a natural calamity. My supply chain has broke because of the natural calamity, earthquake, flood, tension. What do you do sitting here? Your boss will come and say, what is happening? You will have to coolly tell him, no sir, this is beyond my control. Then he will say, your job is also not by control. See, you will have to convince the people. So therefore, many of us have lost the art of convincing. Therefore, easy way we have taken is confuse the people if you can't convince. Look at the situation. This confusing will not live for long. This is only a temporary one. This particular, nobody need to worry about it because this Tendulkar Dravid example, I also learnt it related to our Swadhyaya after seeing the YouTube interview by Tendulkar. See, this correlation is there, no? That you will have to correlate, it's very much necessary from the Granthas, epics, because after all, it's a human mind, you see, human mind. Therefore, it has to be done. If somebody learns the Srinivasa Kalyana or has gone through that, Lord Srinivasa would say, how many people I have to feed in my wedding on the previous day? So he says, all devatas will come 33 crores. Where is my money? Now he goes and then asks the Varaha Swami, please give me the loan. Varaha Swami says, how can I? What is the proof? Where is the surety? When do I get money? So he says a beautiful way. See, what is it that I don't have money, but my disciples, my bhaktas are not that bad. They are very rich. So what I do is, I'll make a promise. Those of the bhaktas who come and see me first, I will not give them any boon. First they should come to you and then have darshan and then come to me. Then I will give whatever that is necessary. So going there, if you want to put 100 rupees in Srinivasa Hundi, at least 10 rupees in Varaha, no? How beautifully one can assimilate all these things. So coming back to Artha Shastra, he would say, whatever the value that we have got is the Maulya. Now what will happen to the Maulya? Maulya to be utilized. If it is not utilized, it is going to perish. You have seen a government being toppled in Delhi for onion. Same trick they wanted to play with the LPG, it failed. People standing in the queue, somebody giving an interview, I am 71 years old, waiting for the cylinder for last 2 days. Why should he wait? If it is not there, you need not have to wait, no? It is as good as, somebody standing in front of the theatre and then say, all the house full, still I wait, I may get a ticket. Which fool will do this? So people have learned by lessons. Wise men learn by the folly of the others, fool by his own. I have added one more, idiot by not his own also. You can fool one at one time, you can fool all at one time, you cannot fool all at all times. These are all the principles one should have in their back of their mind as the first principles. then nothing can go wrong. Now what will happen in our case is, are we doing it as per the Arthashastra? Unfortunately, we have in Sanskrit in Pune, the Arthashastra, Kautilya's Arthashastra original in Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute. How many of us heard this, or how many of you have visited? I am sure none of us. I was also not one who could, but for the adjournment in Bombay High Court, which made me to go to Pune and visit this library. We have an English version from Penguin Publications paying the same for that. And others have already benefited assimilating it. We want to now discount this particular Arthashastra by saying that it's all bunkum, something somebody has written it long back for Chandragupta, not for me. No, sorry sir, it was not Chandragupta alone. The principle I said that it has to come back, that principle is a universal truth for all time to come. Otherwise, how do you fill up the treasury? This is the one thing. So it may be a little more in terms of what we see when every time Nirmala Sitharaman comes for the budget session. We have our fond hope that our tax will be reduced. No, it is not going to reduce. What is the advantage? Advantage is, I just checked it up. In 2011 to 14, we were paying 1,190 per domestic cylinder LPG, wait for 3 months after booking. Today, with the cost, enhanced price, 960 rupees to your doorstep. How we were able to achieve it? I am speaking from the statistics available on the net. How is it possible? It is possible because 1190 included paying towards the oil bond. Interest, not the principal. Please understand this. This 1190 each one of you are paying, waiting for 3 months, included what is called the interest component, not paying a single pi towards the principal clearing. Each liter of petrol, there used to be subsidy. I do understand yet another type of, the costing. Petrol prices remain not a changed by 1 rupee in Mr. Raman Naik's petroleum ministry, when he was the Raman Naik was there. Raman Naik, by the way, you should remember, because she is the one who wanted to contest election from Bombay South, if I am not mistaken, and in the column that is required, permanent address, he said, I don't have anyone. I don't have permanent address. So his application for the post was rejected. He has to approach the Bombay High Court. So Bombay High Court looked into his application, nomination, and then said, what? You don't have permanent address. He says, yes, I don't have permanent address, but I am a voter. I have a vote in this particular constituency. This was the time people wanted to know, without a permanent address, can the person stand for the election, contest for an election? It was a big issue before the Bombay High Court. Judge wanted to see who is the candidate. Afternoon, Raman Naik appeared before the court, and then he was in a white and white pajama and a jubba with one pair of slippers. Then he said, what are your assets? Sir, these are the only my assets. Yet another set of dress is there in the somebody's house, I don't know. What do you mean by somebody's house? He says, sir, I don't have a permanent abode. Somebody, some karyakarta comes and then takes my bag, which consists of another pair of clothes and little small belongings, and keeps it in some other karyakarta's house. That evening dinner is there, and I sleep there. Next day morning I wear those clothes, and this cloth and other things is taken by somebody else and keeps it in another house. I don't know which house. Judge was shocked. His application was allowed, his writ petition was allowed, he was allowed to contest, and he won and became the petroleum minister. If I am not mistaken, 44 rupees 82 paisa was the per litre petrol throughout 5 years. What is it that it made? Whether the international prices did not fluctuate then? It did. It's because just like what we are having now, then also there was a war situation, Iraq, Iran, everything. If my memory goes right. But how he managed is, She took a strong decision, irrespective of the political party, all duplicate licenses for running the petrol bunks were taken off. 1.5 lakhs such licenses were there. Whether really they were delivering the petrol? No. It's a book adjustment and subsidy was eaten off. Look at the situation. I did not say any of these things. These are all management studies. Beautiful way of making it. One is, waste he has been able to control. Put down the foot down and then say, irrespective of the political party. Which political party will tolerate? But for Raman Naik, even that particular party would not have tolerated. But Raman Naik was such honest fellow who said this. Then what happened? Kerosene prices. It was only entered in the ration cards, but not actually given to them. Where was it used? It was used in boats. It was used in industries. It was used in the hotels. That was taken off. The subsidy portion itself was able to maintain the petrol price even for a period of 5 full years. What did our people do? Look at the another situation which many of us men usually try to ignore. Cry of the society in casting. How society would react? Society wanted film actor Govinda in the place of Raman Naik, and the subsidy became again a Govinda. See the situation. So what did Raman Naik, did he really study the Artha Shastra? Or it is the first principles which made him to have this success story. We also have another beautiful success story that is in the railway ministry. You know who the railway minister was? And he says, I have straight away become a profit-oriented industry. Why? Because I have said all the debts are written off. So beautiful, no? All debts are written off. Nobody need to buy any ticket. Freebie. Who will fund? South Indians will take the ticket, North Indians will go out free of ticket. I am not joking. As recently, 10 days back, police were traveling in the train without the ticket. TC goes there and asks for the ticket. They say that they are on duty, they are not supposed to take the ticket. He would ask for the pass. Police were trying to get the necessary contacts, X, Y, Z, higher ups, and then wanted to shun this TC. TC said, if you want, I will call the railway minister himself. Now what do you do? Next station, they got off from the train. What prevented? What made them to make? The conviction and the first principle. So, what one should do is, Swayam alankritya, acharyam alankuryat. First be honest, then ask the others to be honest. What you preach, you must practice. These are all the requirements one should have. So then you will have what is called reality of what exactly cost calculation method. Hope I have made myself clear on that. What is the real cost calculation? Real cost calculation would include, if I were to be the boss of this particular company, what is the cost involved? Not as an employee or a cost accountant. If I were to be the boss, if I am required to manage the 1 month the house, how my wife is managing, I will understand. So there, you step into that particular position, then you will understand what is real cost. Then what is called, yes, I need that. I need that because each one of you have realized, if you are a boss for a day, then what will be the situation? Now the second one what we are looking into is, I have already covered, that is the preventive. So what may happen tomorrow, I foresee and then work it out now itself. It's also called reserve in technical terms. So that can happen. Then what we have, what is called frugal expenditure control. Of course, it's a little technical term. You can all understand. For me to understand and then write, a wise person would spend only 1/3 of the income. Where do you get this? You will get it in Subhashita. He would say, if you have a rupee today, don't exhaust that rupee. It's all only to say good. This is the one-time birth. You will not have again birth. Sala madi adru tuppa tinnu. You have seen what the present day budget, how much amount we have borrowed. We have borrowed the money at the high rate of interest only to pay the salary. Unfortunate situation. This was the similar situation we had when Ramakrishna Hegde government second time got elected, and instead of paying the salary, national saving certificates were issued. Ration fellow would say, eat that, I will not give you any ration. Then he has to give it up. He tried giving. Those who are from the Uttara Kannada district will understand. Beautiful forest cover last for the plywood industry. And what in that place today we have is acacia. This is the problem when you don't foresee apat dhana. Apat dhana must be kept as a reserve for the future, for meeting the contingency. Each one of us would do. Few young lady friends are here, few old are also here. I will not say old because they get wrath. Right. Now what will happen? No need to laugh. I'll tell you a beautiful way of saying it. They keep it in the mustard box, 100 rupees. Tomorrow you don't have bus charge, they will take it out from there and then give it. They are reserving it for the future. This was what was next. What is next is, this we are all doing it, but mechanically, strategic planning. This strategy many times may not happen. See, even now, today for the day's function, you would have had the cost-effective method. This much is required for the sports event, this much for the breakfast, this much for the afternoon lunch, evening. If something surplus, next year meeting, evening there will be a discussion. Should we keep it for the next year meeting or should we enjoy by going to a good hotel? Wise men will say, no, let it be there. Now how that will be looked into? Strategy. Strategy is always a double-edged weapon. It may happen, may not happen. If it not happens, well, you are well within that. If it happens, you are saved. That is how this country could cope up post-COVID, the GDP rate. Because everyone is now, they were not prepared for such a contingency. Vaccine came, you all see, you have all seen what has happened. There was lot of uproar. Vaccine came. And we had the two, Covishield and Covaxin. When our own indigenous method was made, only with an intention to see that ours is discounted, they get the more money they wanted. Today, the report says that the actual vaccine that the other side, the foreigner has made, did not have the required amount of vaccine, and they are being now facing the prosecution. I will have a beautiful small story here. Akbar wanted to find out how his subjects are honest. How to make it? There was no opinion poll then, where you can press the button and then say, I am honest. Even if it is how to find the honesty. So there was a small test that was prepared. Next day was his son's coronation ceremony. There was a beat of drum and then a message was sent. On a particular day, all are required to contribute 1 cup of milk from their house. On the Yuvaraja Pattabhisheka day, the palace will make it into kheer, payasam, added with sugar, dressed with cardamom, this, that and all, and distribute. Everyone should participate in this, and everyone should contribute a cup of milk, and whoever doesn't do will lose their life, lose their head. So this was what was told, and beat of drums, 2 days, everything was prepared. A huge tank was kept on the palace place, where the Begum ji can put it directly like this, and there's a ladder here, go there, contribute, get down from the other ladder. Huge queue was there, entire town was filled up with people, this, that and all, bureaucracy in the same order. Lastly, the fellow who is to beg the 1 cup of milk from the palace, he was also required to. Now this went on. It all started around 6 p.m. like, this voting, secret voting. Nobody should know who is contributed what. It all went on. Next day morning, the chef came, wanted to take out the big tank of milk to prepare payasam. For his dismay, he only see water. Full of water. Not a tinge of milk. Now he goes and reports to the king. Sir, this is what has happened. So he calls the minister and asks him what was being published, what was by beat of drums told. Everything is perfect. Then why this? Really worried. Now whenever some such problems were to come, there was no Google at that point of time. The only Google was Birbal. So Birbal was called, summoned rather. He was not to be found. He was hiding in his house. Finally they brought him, dragged him to the king and then made him to stand there. Now with some amount of fear and some amount of reluctance, some amount of arrogance, Birbal is standing. You know what happens when your entire report has gone bad and boss is calling you. You have decided, if he throws me out, fires me out, well, let him. He will not get a replacement like me. This is one feeling. Okay, my report has gone bad. I am answerable for that. Yes, that's another thing is there. Third one is, what is my bad luck? I have to struggle with this fellow. Now, these are the feelings that the Birbal also had. So, when Birbal was asked, Birbal says, you want this answer in the public or in private? Many times it happens, no? Come to my room is what is called. I am prepared to have that, whatever that bad feeling, ill feeling, what not, in private. Because success hugs you in public and failure is an orphan which slaps you. You should look into it. So therefore, he takes him to his Antapura, and then Begums were standing behind the curtain. King asks, what happened, Birbal? Birbal says, sir, it should start from you. It should start from Begums. It should start from the ministry. Let us ask one by one. Let us start with your Begums. You ask them what did they contribute yesterday. In the order Begums said, we thought that our subjects are honest, so when they are putting the milk, what if I put a cup of water? So I contributed water. This is the discipline should flow from higher level to lower level. And if it is to be from the lower level to the higher level, you need 10 HP pump, and moment the power is off, the pump is also off. So then the question of minister, everything happened. Akbar understood that he was actually in fantasy thinking that his subjects are honest, and they are not. Now what happened thereafter? Finally Birbal has got all guts to ask the king, what did you do? Japana, apne kya dala? He said, I was so sure about my subjects, I also added water. See, realistic requirement if you don't do it. If it is only if it happens, if P then Q logic, it fails in practice. If P then Q is only a mathematical logic, but there are many intervening circumstances which the AI or any technology cannot perceive, whereas a human mind can definitely perceive. Therefore, all our technology, all our requirements, whatever that we have, all that must be there. Make use of it as a dutiful servant, not as a beautiful replacement. Human brain is human brain. So therefore, realistic costing requires you to raise to the level, apply and analyze from the practical point of view, given the set of circumstances, then you have what is called optimizing cost instead of ending it in pessimistic result. Hope I have made myself clear. I have made my earnest efforts to bring it to your minds what actually the whole day theme wanted to convey to you. There are many such slips between cup and lip. Don't get worried. Opportunities may not strike again and again, but an opportunist is only an opportunist, whereas a person who is a performer will remain performer for all time to come. You may fail this time, but you may not fail all times. You cannot fool all at all times. One small anecdote from the cricket history. Zimbabwean debut bowler, first delivery, he bowled to Sachin Tendulkar, got his wicket. A beautiful delivery indeed. We have a system called, after the match is over, that ball will be given to the debut player. He can retain it. And he came to Tendulkar in the dressing room with a marker pen. He wanted him to, put his autograph so that he can keep it in his showcase for all time to come. Well, that is there in the sportsman spirit. Tendulkar, being a good sportsman, having a highest spirit, took the ball, took the marker and wrote something and then signed it as Tendulkar. Then this bowler looks at it. The saying goes like this: indeed, it's a best delivery. It took me off. I could not play it. But make sure I will not get out for this delivery again in my lifetime. Failures are the stepstones for the success. Valedictory address in many cases are in the nature of, a nagole mane in marriage. Marriage is over, sumptuous food is made, all are working it out, and then taking it easy, putting their legs on the opposite chair, taking it easy, yawning, whatnot. Valedictory address will also be of that nature. Since morning, tireless efforts, ended in a beautiful fashion. Somehow it's a formality to draw actually the curtain, like a movie where it comes with Shubham and we are all trying to get out. No. Never ever in this, you should have that in your mind henceforth. A valedictory session is one where whatever the doubts that you have gone in the morning session, afternoon session, or in your previous whatever the experiences that you nurtured within yourself, you may not have the courage to put it across to the gathering, maybe out of shy or inferiority or what the others may think about me. No, such doubts are the real doubts which are to be sorted out in a session like this, in-house discussion. We are discussing ourselves. You have learnt a new problem. Swadhyaya has happened. I will find a solution for that. In that solution, propagate, because others should not lose. Yet another small story. It's like the ultimatum for what one should have if they don't get cleared their doubts. There is a place called Bengaluru in Tumkur district. A big Ganesha idol will be made there. And actually the Ganesha idol would be constructed on wheels so that it could be moved and then immersed. So huge Ganesha, its belly button was like this size. So you can imagine the stomach size and then all these things. One fellow just put his hand out of anxiousness or out of mischief. And then what happened? He found something has bitten him here. Ha! He said. Then person behind him asked, "Emaindi?" It's in Telugu. "Emaindi?" "Em ledu, chala bagundi." He says, everything is nice, everything nice. Everyone started putting their hand and getting this bite. Nobody wanted to tell what is there inside. Then all of them had the bite. Nobody wanted to tell what is the problem in it. If you keep the doubts for yourself, you will have only bites, and bites make others also bites. Come out with your doubt. First day, if you have said there is something wrong there, don't put your finger there. Everyone should have said, one fellow would have got. Now this temperament should go. This is an occasion. We meet the people. We have the doubts here. We ventilate our doubts here. We calculate our things. Wherever we have gone wrong, we have the solutions. We have the old root here, 85 years young, and the young fellow who is there sitting there. So we can, blend both the things and then find out a beautiful solution, build a best world and best for the entire world as such, that if you want to have any cost accounting, a realistic, an optimistic, and a conservative as well, and a realistic one which can strive for all time to come, stand like a rock in whatever be decision, go back to India, especially Bangalore chapter. You have, other than the professionals, Justice Srisha as well. Thank you very much.